Basically, just a quick intro into us. Ken and I both went to high school. You were on my case for a couple of years about playing some gridiron down at Bayside.
Well, listen, we had a championship we had to win. I had access to the entire best schoolboys side in the decade. I had to try and make some do with it.
Yeah,
you were a kid looking for a bit of help in our film and TV class, and I, made a deal.
Yeah, and we like us rugby boys came off that undefeated season. It was pretty memorable, and we're kind of a bit lost there going to the back end of the year, and obviously it was a nice transition just to go in and slot in with you boys. And I think all of us played defense because I don't think we were smart enough to play any offense. But no, it was good fun, and I remember just having those conversations in film and television, and I was like, what numbers how do you get the numbers? Why do defensive players pick these certain numbers and things like that?
You got a really ugly number if memory serves correct. You had
I think
30.
I think it was 50. Was I 56?
No, you weren't a linebacker number. You had an ugly number.
I think
it was it might have been a 40.
Yeah, I think 47 maybe.
That was Dylan, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Shout out to Dylan if you're watching. You might be.
I've got the jersey. I've still got the jersey.
I just remember being an ugly number for a DB.
I've only got rips on my right hand side because it's the only shoulder I know how to tackle with.
I don't know how many people might actually realise that you were part of Bayside history.
Yeah,
given your history.
It was good fun, man. I'd love to have another season eventually, and hopefully
it's coming through, mate.
Yeah,
people are gonna be sliding to your DMs.
I'm only playing safety. It's the only thing I know how to play. Obviously, season started today. Pretty cool.
Not a bad time to start a NFL podcast, man.
We got I got some of the stats here. Obviously, Bucks getting up. Did you watch much of the game? Were you working?
I did. No,
yeah,
mate, all over it, mate. Even if I was working.
Pretty exciting game.
It was, especially for the first one of the season. And can I say, offensively, very minimal rust.
Yeah.
I mean, and I think that's the nature of
especially Dak coming off a broken leg.
Well, that was obviously going to be the big topic of today, especially being, the Cowboys being on Hard Knocks. Is Dak okay? Can Dak throw? And I think you're probably not expecting Dak to be breaking off any big 30-yard runs and quarterback options, but they weren't afraid to call a handful of them today.
Yeah.
And he still looked agile in the pocket, and quite frankly, that's all he needs moving forward. He still threw for, 400 yards?
406, I believe. Yeah.
So
403 yards.
And that's kind of crazy to me that we
and
can go in and throw that many yards so early.
That should have been caught.
Yeah, of CeeDee Lamb's hands.
Yeah,
he was square in the hands. I don't know if I remember I was telling you about I was getting into trading cards and things. Yeah.
I recently pulled a CeeDee Lamb signed.
Oh, wow.
So I'm pretty keen. I obviously
with or without the missus' permission?
That was with that one. Yeah, and then obviously Tom Brady doing what he does.
It's ridiculous. I mean, I know it's a cliche, and we've got to start off the top of it, but at 44 years old, you shouldn't be allowed to compete the way he does. But I think that goes to show have a beautiful wife, be successful at your career,
yep,
and have millions of dollars, and turns out your
full-time
okay
cooks, full-time masseuse. Nah, he's as much as you you just want to hate the dude, I just can't anymore. I just respect the hell out of it, and it's
old. He's literally the age of some of our soon-to-be viewers' fathers. Dead set.
Yeah. Other good numbers: Antonio Brown, Cooper. I was playing a dude that had Antonio Brown and Cooper as their wide receivers today. So
when did they pick them? That's the question.
Hey,
in their draft, when did they pick?
I got no idea when they picked them, but they had them, and it's upsetting because I was predicted to win, and now I'm predicted to get smoked.
Dude, Antonio Brown's ADP was a bit weird. Now I don't know if anyone else could agree with me. I have some moral issues picking the man. I hate the idea that someone who acted the way he did can win a Super Bowl and now probably be on track for another good contract.
Yeah.
But geez, you got some good value. Some people picking him, close to 10th in their drafts, especially if they've got IDP drafts like I drafted.
Yeah.
But amazing value for you. He's already popped up for 100.
Yeah, well, especially when you got the likes of Goodwin and obviously Gronk and then Mike Evans.
Who did jack all today, but
nothing.
I got to say, let's talk about the fact that they had 4 wide receivers go over 100 yards, almost a 50 if you include Gronk for 90.
Yeah.
That's not supposed to happen in week 1, but that's a turning of the times in American football.
Yeah, no, I love it.
It's safer to throw a 4-yard hitch than hand the ball off. I mean, we had one running back go over double-digit carries, and I think that was Zeke with 11 just.
Yeah, Zeke
and
there.
He did nothing. Did we have a back that averaged over 4 yards today, which I understand is a quality
No. Oh,
number,
actually... Yeah, we had Pollard, but...
Oh, with his 3 carries.
3 carries, yeah. But all in all...
changing in the times.
Yeah, no, really, really exciting game to start us off. And It's nice to keep some of the Cowboys fans a bit quiet
I've
early on.
already seen today. I've been tagged already in the We Damn Boys meme.
Yeah.
You know, the one where they're really at the starting
Yeah.
quarterback of the team. Though, are we going to talk about the Greg the Leg issues?
Greg the Leg?
Yeah, Greg Zerline missing from missing.
Oh,
from 30
yeah.
round.
I was on the fantasy chat and I was like, whoever's got the Cowboys kicker, someone keep an eye on him because,
Someone's going to be dropping him, or
hey, someone, I would like, if you're missing I think you missed a PAT and then a field goal from pretty close.
yeah. 31 and then missed the PAT, and then he got back on track. But then the fact that they needed to rely on him to get the game winner, well, you hope the 10 years of quality play comes for the... I'm trying to remember the name of the Dallas Cowboys special teams coordinator who came over from the Rams. He's pretty much trying to get the band back together.
Yeah.
But he brought back one of his favorite special teams players ever in Greg Zerline, Greg the Leg.
Yeah.
And for him to put out that in the first game,
Yeah.
give yourself an uppercut, mate.
Yeah,
Do
no,
better.
it was pretty wild. MVP for the year? Who have you got?
We're talking straight onto MVP.
Yeah, go straight to MVP.
I avoided wearing any Chargers paraphernalia today because I'm going to get some homer calls here. But I want to talk about the quarterback who I spent 3 months ragging on, talking about him being a horrible pick for my Los Angeles Chargers. And that is Justin Herbert. And look, Rookie of the Year last year, best rookie season ever.
Yep.
Most 300-yard games of a rookie, best QBR, I believe, most yardage, or close to most yardage. I think he was just behind Andrew Luck, maybe. And that was all behind Pro Football Focus worst offensive line, or second worst offensive line in 2020. And they've completely revamped that, picked Rashawn Slater there in the first round. And he's still got the case, most of his offensive weapons, if not all, depending on how you want to consider T. Billy's role in the LA offense. But he's got a new head coach, a very progressive head coach, and they've got Coach Lombardi coming back, who some people might rag on during his time in Detroit there with Matty Stafford. But he then went back. I believe in second chances. He went back, has learnt under Sean Payton and that sort of offense, and probably learnt what it takes to sort of build an offense around a person. Sean Payton's offense was built around Drew Brees.
Yeah.
And I think that's what he's going to try to do with Justin Herbert. He's not going to try and make Justin Herbert play in that NOLA offense. He's going to find a way how to make the best out of Justin Herbert in this offense. And I think that only leads, especially when they're young, leads to chances at throwing the ball deep and throwing the ball a lot. You just look at how Andy Reid treated Mahomes. You should know best. In his second year, and the chance for explosion there. So Justin Herbert behind a much improved offensive line has my vote.
Nice. That's an interesting pick. It's cool because obviously I'm going to go with my boy Patrick Mahomes. I just think obviously new offensive line, stuff like that. I just can't see it going any other way this year. But straight back to the Super Bowl.
There's no money in going Patty Mahomes.
Yeah, I know, but this is I'm going with straight. Why the fuck is this thing?
And there's another thought though. You want to talk about? Bring MVPs in the conversation. I mean, it's no reason Aaron Rodgers couldn't go back to back.
Yeah,
he
was actually. When I was going through my Super Bowl predictions and things like that, I was actually I think it's kind of all or nothing for A-Rod now.
Well, you got to think him and Devontae as well. Both of them contract years. He's gone ahead. He's pulled the whole. He's thrown just shy of throwing the toys out of the cot.
Yeah.
He's entering free agent trade with clauses next offseason. But he's the type of guy, look at him now. He's got the long hair now. He's just got married to a beautiful young wife. He's got a bit of a devil-may-care attitude there. I think it'll be sort of like last year where he's playing with a bit of a chip on his shoulder.
Yep.
And he's still got Devontae Adams. He's still got Aaron Jones in the backfield. Slightly less quality offensive line, but there's no reason why he couldn't go out and put up huge numbers again.
Yeah.
A pretty depleted division.
And your Rookie of the Year?
Rookie of the Year, well, are we talking complete offensive or defensive?
Complete.
Complete.
Yeah.
Okay, I will put this with an asterisk. Justin Fields, and I know you love this
yes.
pick. I know you love this pick,
Love
but that's
this.
obviously depending on when he starts.
Yeah.
And I think he could be starting as early as week 2. I think I will back some of the calls there that it's Dalton being thrown to the wolves here against LA week 1. Who would want their quarterback to deal with that?
Yeah.
I think he's got weapons there. I'm a big fan of the receiving core in Chicago.
Yep.
Matt Nagy's organized a really receiving core. Allen Robinson's one of my favorite wide receivers for the last 5 years.
Yep.
He's got Mooney, who's dying to break out as well. So he's got the weapons to make yardage happen, and on top of that, he's got the legs to overcome any sort of offensive line deficiencies there. And he's a willing runner as well. So you combine those two, you've got a chance, with a, pull up 7 wins, you've got a chance to sort of really
Throw your name in that.
take it there. But if we want to go the sexier pick, and especially if we want to talk about defensive rookie of the year, well, actually, no, we'll go ahead. You probably have thoughts on rookie of the year total.
I've gone with Mac Jones.
Oh, here we
Yeah,
go. Based on wins?
Just based on what I've been like, some of the rumors that I've been hearing out of the Patriots team and things like that, and did you hear the one about him, like how he was teaching Cam Newton the playbook, and
Which
everyone's
is
like,
not great for the guy who's a former MVP,
but
10
like,
plus year pro.
I think he was pretty good in preseason, and I like what I saw from him, and he's got the, I think I just think it's he's going to slot in there like really well, and
He's a Belichick type of guy. Isn't
Yeah.
he? Like he's a smart guy. You can tell. Like let's just face it, he's not an athlete.
yeah,
He didn't get to where he was for his athletic ability. He hasn't got the strongest arm. He's been able to get there because he's been able to handle offenses and
Yeah.
make the right decisions. And he was perfect quarterback for Bama and what they tried to do.
yeah,
And I agree that he'll probably be the perfect type of Belichick quarterback as well. And he's that really even keel quarterback as well.
yeah,
He's not a rah guy, but he's also the type of guy he'll throw 3 picks, and you couldn't tell the difference about whether he threw 3 picks or
yeah,
3 touchdowns. So I think it's a solid pick. I question whether it's enough to be rookie of the year on the basis of will he put up numbers. We've got a big stable of running backs there in New
Yeah.
England. Bill having a young quarterback in the situation they are still playing in the cold. They'll still want to run the ball, and I think their running back group, who's it, Damian Harris, is it, the lead back? He's in for a 1,200-yard season, I think, and then you got all those guys behind him, mixing James White still catching short passes.
Yeah.
I just don't think number-wise that'll be enough to earn him the stripes. He'll probably have a 10-win season,
yeah.
but I think they'll probably end up going for the more exciting picks.
Yeah.
Justin
No,
Fields. If he
I
gets there.
would love Justin Fields just purely based on my signed Justin Fields pen pals card.
You want that?
Yeah, I want that so
Boom.
bad just to go.
I think he's good. I don't understand what dropped. This is that classic draft time thing. Like literally from the days they were in high school till about 3 months out from
Yeah.
the draft, it was Trevor Lawrence, Justin Fields, Trevor Lawrence.
Yep.
Trevor Lawrence obviously has the size, he has the demeanor, he had the ability that he took Clemson from a not a no-name program, but
Yep.
not a top 4 program to a championship contender,
Yep.
every year that he was there as a freshman rookie. But Justin Field was always there. Like you even look back to them when they were competing in that Elite 11 and stuff like that. I think Justin Fields beat him in there. I don't understand why. And there was the talks about him being not a great locker room guy. He's not the first in, first out. But the guy produces, and I can see him doing that early in his career as well. I can see him having like an RG3 type of rookie season.
Yeah. And did you follow much of like the QB1 and things like that?
Not beyond what I've just mentioned.
Yeah, yeah. I mean that's how I grew to like the guy. I just even as like a high school kid, I was like, damn, this guy's like legit he walked around and acted like he was a professional athlete in high school,
QB,
which I thought was wild.
Div 1 prospects, you're celebrities from a very young age. It's not all that different to the Leo Messi's being sought after at 11 years old and whatnot. High school is where they really start looking at you and whether you have that sort of NFL round 1, demeanor.
For sure.
But I want to make a mention to potential defensive rookie of the year.
Yeah, that was my next question for you.
Firstly, can we agree that it's going to be a quarterback? The rookie of the year. I mean, there's so many.
The rookie of the year. It'll be a quarterback.
Let's face it. I mean, I feel bad. There's been a bit of bad blood between Charger and Vikings fans after last year because obviously Jefferson had an amazing year. I don't doubt that at all.
Yeah.
But we need to understand that just objectively speaking, the quarterback position is a much harder position to play than wide receiver.
Yeah.
As amazing as a career that season that Justin Jefferson had, you can't. I mean, he broke record. He was literally the best rookie quarterback in the 16 game era. So hush now, Vikings fans. But, that being said, any other year, Justin Jefferson wins Offensive Rookie of the Year. I don't deny that. But it's an easy. I think the favorite to win Defensive Rookie of the Year is Micah Parsons. And after today's game, I don't challenge that at all. And obviously, everyone who's been watching Hard Knocks and whatnot is probably all over him and whatnot. And I can understand that. That's very reasonable. But a smoky, I would say, for Defensive Rookie of the Year, Jarman Davis, the high draft pick there for Washington football team.
Yep.
He's he's not a perfect prospect, but he's highly athletic.
Mm-hmm.
He's playing he got the starting job at Mike Backer for the football team in their 4-3 defense, and he's being coached by two of the best linebacking coaches in the league there, between Jack Del Rio as a defensive coordinator and obviously Riverboat Ron as head coach. So he's going to learn a lot and he's going to learn fast. On top of that, he's playing behind the deepest interior defensive line there is in football right now. Ioannidis, who's admittedly a pass rush specialist, but Deron Payne and Jonathan Allen, is it? Yeah. I mean, and then you've got edge players like Montez Sweat and who's rookie of the year? Chase Young.
Chase Young.
Edge for you. So he's not going to even have to go sideline to sideline half the time. Like that is going to be one clean jersey for most games, I reckon, and it'll be him versus ball carriers all day long.
Yeah. Was Chase Young getting defensive rookie of the year last year easily probably would that have been the most guaranteed bet of all time?
I mean, barring injuries, he came off a bit scratchy, but yeah, it was a pretty safe bet.
Yeah, like I think I looked at. I think I chucked it in.
Well, I don't know. Jeremy Chin, I'm a big fan of his sort of style play.
Yeah.
I think if they're on a better team, if CMC doesn't get injured last year, and they're in a winning program, it is Jeremy Chin, right? That sort of free safety linebacker out of Carolina. He was in for votes, and he had a pretty similar year to who was that Colts linebacker? The weak side, the wheelback of the Colts. One of the year Derwin James is competing. Name escapes me.
Shit, I wouldn't have any idea about any Colts players.
But he had a similar year to him. The year he edged out Derwin James.
Yeah.
So he was a chance, but you have an edge rusher who's pulling the sacks he did against the competition he was. Then I likened it to my Justin Herbert combination. I mean, quarterback is more important to the purpose of offensive production as is an edge rusher to defense. So
yeah. And let's move on to your Super Bowl predictions for the year. Just teams. Yeah, teams.
Not winners. I don't want to be boring here because I've got to be, though, because this is going on the record. But there's no reason why it couldn't be Chiefs Bucks again.
Yeah, I was looking at it today, and I was looking at the teams, and I was like, oh man, I don't know how it can go any other way, really.
Yeah, there's a bit of worry now with defensive back depth with Sean Bunting, Matthew Bunting, whatever his name is.
Yeah.
With the injury going down today.
I didn't know what happened to him. Was it?
I'm pretty sure he snapped his arm.
Really?
So he's out for a while.
Oh shit! I didn't know that. I thought it might have been like a head thing, but no,
that's what I was. I admit I was kind of watching passively.
Wow.
But someone messaged me and said the commentators missed it. He's clearly snapped his arm.
Yeah.
Anyway, it seems like it's going to be for a long time.
Yeah.
So we'll see how that depth gets tested in a passing league today. That being said, I think they went against a really talented passing offense here.
Yeah.
Today, CeeDee Lamb, Michael Gallup, I wonder what his status is going to be.
Yep.
And Amari Cooper. Ultimately, I think they're going to be fine. The pass rush is unbelievable from, Buccaneers. And then the only thing that stopped Patty Mahomes grabbing his second ring last year was the fact that he was playing with guys off the street in front of him.
Yeah. No, it was pretty heartbreaking. I'm glad they went out and they fixed that issue really quickly. I've actually gone with, and I know this is probably a bit crazy, but I think the Seahawks are a chance of getting there. Based on just Wilson and his receiving core. Like that's purely it, really. I just really like them every year, and I just really like Russell Wilson. I really like the Seahawks, and I just think that as a sort of a dark horse to get in the Super Bowl, purely just based on like entertainment. I'd love to just see Chiefs like Wilson versus Mahomes in the Super Bowl. That's just because I just really like, as much as I'd love to go back and beat the Bucs in the Super Bowl, I just like I just want to see something a bit different. I think that I'm just going to throw the Hawks out there.
I think I got to commend you as well. Something you probably don't get enough public commendation for is you had a very, very hefty bet on your Chiefs to go return back to the Super Bowl last year. I was the one in your ear telling you to write it.
Yeah.
At this point, but you wisely cashed out and got yourself, a nice little kitty there.
I was, especially when Fisher went and did his Achilles like the week before, and that was the final straw for me. I was like, I can't deal with this anxiety, so I just cashed out, and I was at ease then.
Yeah,
so.
you were struggling. I don't know. I think a part of me just wanted to see chaos happen and wanted you to keep riding to the Super Bowl. Imagine you watching that Super Bowl, just watching Mahomes just slinging passes.
Oh man, it just would have been horrible.
Poor bloke. But while you sort of transitioned us into the dark horse conversation, there, you asked us to sort of think of a bit of a dark horse.
Yeah, I've
you
got
said
mine.
us because Curtis is supposed to be the third.
Yeah, we'll get into
episode.
that. We'll get into that.
But now when people say dark horse, I never know what they mean anymore. So I gave you two.
I've got my dark horse Super Bowl, and then I've got my dark horse.
Well, when you say dark horse, do you mean a team that's not expected to do well, or a team that could genuinely make
My Super Bowl prediction was purely based on what I want to see, what I would love to see in the Super Bowl, based on a
I
fan.
want to see LA over.
Yeah.
God, I would love to see an LA Super Bowl.
So who's your dark horse team to go well throughout the year that predominantly not many people have given them a chance?
Well, here's what I've broken down for you. If you're calling a dark horse just someone outside of the big top four,
Yep.
and a lot of people say this is still an easy pick, but if I'm just classing teams outside the top four, I've got the Cleveland Browns. They're at $15 right now on sports bets.
And I know what you mean, like because of like how they performed last year, and
got to the playoffs for the final time, and you're actually starting to feel that they're shedding the factory of sadness sort of vibe from them, which is a hard thing to do to change a culture like that. You know, by all means, you could talk to someone who was following, NFL football 10, 15 years ago, and they could probably still safely say, are the Browns still the worst team in the league?
Yeah.
Now it's only just finally changed. The tide has turned for the poor dog pound. But look, they had a mid-table offense last year under Kevin Stefanski, sitting about 14th rushing, 15th passing and whatnot. But they still, hold 2 top 10 running backs, 2 top 20 wide receivers, and Pro Football Focus first-ranked overall offensive line.
Yep.
That's a recipe for improvement if I've ever seen one. And if you want to compare their offensive stats, particularly with OBJ, from the first half of the year to the second half of the year,
Yep.
it's a different story. It finally clicked with Baker and whatnot.
Yep.
And Kevin Stefanski kept things a little more intermediate and didn't have Baker holding the ball as long as he probably should have. So I can see that changing now. I guess there will be a question mark of whether OBJ even starts or how involved he is coming back from injury.
Yeah, I think he's definitely cleared. I think they're predicting that he will.
What's his snap count going to be? What routes will they use him on? But the biggest struggle they had was defending the pass.
Yeah.
Primarily through the safeties. They have tried to remedy that. They got Troy Hill and John Johnson III, I think, the safety. Both LA players there, and they were a big part of the number 1 ranked defense last year with under Brandon Staley. So they've got a chance to try and help fix that, because if they can fix that just a little, you got Myles Garrett now with a new running mate, Jadeveon Clowney.
Yep.
And that, could be eerily similar to when, Von Miller and Bradley Chubb were getting their thing on. So they've got a real chance. If you're talking about someone outside the top 4 of making a genuine run, I mean, it really rests on the shoulders of Baker Mayfield. But they're built to win now, and they're also built to win in the cold and through the playoffs. So
true.
Not too upset about that.
Well, they got no better chance to try and prove the defense through the air against players like Kelsey and Tyreek Hill immediately in round 1.
Immediate litmus test.
So
who have you
got? I've gone extremely dark.
Go on. I've got one of those coming.
And so it's actually, I want to see how Detroit go with Jared Goff.
Oh, mate.
And I know they're trash. But I'm just purely that because of that whole trade scenario. I just think that, the Detroit have had Stafford for God knows how many years. As far as I remember, he's been at Detroit, and now they've got this new quarterback in. I'm just excited to see what they can do. And
Jared Goff comeback revenge tour.
Yeah, just like a revenge season, and I don't know. That's my dark horse.
Did you what about the head coach? Did you see his first media?
No, I haven't seen it.
Oh, mate, that's something. I wish if that was working.
I don't know what's going on with this bloody thing.
That would be worth bringing up especially if we had audio as well. Well, basically, in case we don't get it, let me set the scene for you there. Dan Campbell, wonderful guy, former tight end, a really rough as guts sort of tight end, surely a lovable bloke. But, as you look at most new head coaches coming in and their first media stint, they try to be as professional and intelligent sounding as they can. Yeah. Dan Campbell, if you just look up YouTube, Dan Campbell kneecaps, I think you pretty much get a good idea. He starts going on about how he wants to install a culture where you know, we're going to be the type of player that if you knock us down on third down, we're going to come back and take a kneecap.
Yeah, that's it.
If you come back again on fourth down, we're going to take the other kneecap. And look, it's ridiculous, but you also can't help yourself and do yourself to the bloke. And
Yeah.
that really feels, not that I know anything what it's like to live in, you know, Detroit, but I get that's the sort of vibe that, you know, Detroitians, is that what you call them?
Just watch 8 Mile.
Yeah, exactly. Would appreciate. And in any case, Hawkinson's going to have a big year. They're going to run the ball and they're going to use a lot of play action.
Yep.
Devastated I didn't get him in fantasy, but
Yep.
he's going to be a huge part of that. But, you know, I'm intrigued to see how Penei Sewell,
Yep.
apologies, goes there. He's moved from left to right tackle. Poor kid hasn't played football in like 18 months. And as a 20-year-old, is expected to be the next coming of you know, Orlando Pace or something like that, but he's struggling so far in the preseason.
Yeah.
But I'll tell you what, that is one hell of a dark horse. No one,
I told you I'd go dark, and that's dark.
no one can say otherwise.
Yeah, I was like looking through the teams. I'm like, I'm going to just throw some bullshit team out here, and then I was like, man, I can't get any more darker than
That's
Detroit.
Jesus Christ.
What have you got?
Well, if you want to go with teams that, by the definition of dark horse, are just completely unexpected, not supposed to be there. They're at $51, and that was sort of my rule here.
How much is Detroit? Like 501?
Actually, geez, I wish they were, but no, I think they're about like 81 or maybe 101.
Yeah.
But I picked a team that was at least north of $50.
Yeah.
And that is again the Washington Redskins.
Oh, okay.
And if you're talking about Smokies,
Yep.
I guess as much as you want to talk about potential talent and potential springers, you want to talk about potential opportunity.
Yep.
They're in a, I think you've commissioned to be swearing on this podcast.
Yeah.
They're in a dog shit division, man.
Yeah.
And they managed to sneak their way into the playoffs last year. And admittedly, Cowboys look a lot better, and they are my pick to win the East there. But assuming something goes down and the Cowboys end up being pretenders, Washington, they're building. They've got potential for a top 10 defense. They got some fun pieces on offense there. Scary Terry, the running back whose name escapes me right now, Logan Thomas returning.
Yep.
You know, and a head coach and, you know, Ron Rivera who knows how to get to the Super Bowl. So if you want,
I've got a couple Redskins players on my fantasy, so I'll be keeping an eye on them.
I think a lot of people think they can put up stats, but whether people think they can overcome everything. But as I said, it's a shorter path to you know, an opportunity there. All it takes is Dallas to just blow up, and I have no faith in the Eagles, and I've got no faith in the Giants. So.
Well, I wish Curtis was here to hear that.
He will be.
Yeah, he'll probably cop it all season, poor bastard. Anyway,
$51 for those looking for a risky punt.
Really? All right.
Definitely.
And we're back. Sorry about that. I had
technical
issues. My bad.
And
we had
the
screen
live.
back. We had the screen back. Yeah. That would have been horrible. Hopefully Henry would have been able to sort that out live when we do go live. That's actually we didn't even mention that.
No.
Yeah. So in the future, in the near future, we will be going live, and we'll be you know, obviously bringing on some cool guests, and obviously we still got Curtis to join us.
He's not counting as a cool guest.
Yeah, no, he's just you know, he's Curtis anyway.
I haven't seen Curtis in years, man. I'm excited to see Curtis.
Yeah, it'll be good. I'm looking forward to it. Curtis also went to our high school, so we all
he's also played in that.
And he also played in that championship. Yeah,
he actually played more than you did.
Yeah,
he started at linebacker.
Anyway, let's AFC East.
Yeah, so going to the East, it's hard to go past the Bills, no?
Yeah, I've got the Bills. Like Dolphins are with Tua, and I know they're like, you know, I don't know. Like
we are talking about the Dolphins-Patriots game later, yeah?
Yeah,
so I'll leave
yeah,
some stuff
yeah.
I've got shelved for that.
Yeah.
But Bills, like, there's no reason why they should regress from the season they had to go. They were, you know, they're Josh Allen, who was on fire for, you know, competed for MVP.
Yeah.
Stephon Diggs is another year in them. He has a preseason with Josh Allen.
The offense hasn't really changed that much, right? Did they get anyone?
Depends on, you know, your situation with Cole Beasley, but
yeah,
and
he's there
and
still.
his COVID beliefs.
Yeah.
You know, obviously questions about running back, but they existed last year as well.
Yeah.
And you have Josh Allen, who's still going to put up 300, 400 yards on his own.
Yeah.
And they still has the ability to just bomb it deep, especially early in the season.
And he can hurt you with these legs too.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. He's going to put up like close to 500 yards on the ground on his own, on keepers and options, and he'll probably score half a dozen touchdowns on the ground.
And you know the Patriots are going to be there.
It will be closer than last year.
Jets, Zach Wilson.
Zach Wilson's going to struggle.
Dude, that guy couldn't be any more white Seriously, he looks like he's from like a Disney show or something.
I mean, Mac Jones is up there. He's
But I'm
more
a
like
fan.
bad
I'm a
boy
fan.
version.
I'm a fan. I'm excited to see the Jets and how they go and
I think
how
you
Zach
need
William
someone.
goes.
I think you need someone like Zach Wilson and
Yeah.
his moxie
Yeah.
to go through the 2 or 3 years he's going to be in, because that doesn't look like it's going to be a quick turnaround.
Yep.
I'll tell you what, though, you had a lot of people who were big on the Michael Carter train. He
Yep.
was starting running back, and I think last time I checked, he went undrafted in a lot more leagues than expected because he couldn't beat out some of the guys who transitioned over there.
Yep.
Where are they going to get, who's he going to be throwing to? Yeah, Mims, who's injured again. He's got some issues there. So I just don't think there's going to be enough to compete. If they get 2 wins this year, I'll be stoked for them.
Really? That's your 2 wins for the Jets.
Look, who are they? They might split with the Patriots. I find that Patriots defense is going to be too good. We'll talk
You
about
mean
that
in the
a second.
division?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
In the
yeah.
division,
Yeah,
but
that's
even
fair.
on total. I mean,
Yeah.
you look at the division first. Who are they going to? They might split one with the Patriots. They might split one with, what do you call it? Dolphins. I don't think so. I see them both winning them. Certainly see the Bills sweeping them.
Yep.
So you potentially go 0-6 or whatever in your division.
Yeah. I think Bills take it out again. For sure.
Yeah, that's one of the easier ones, to be honest.
This could be a bit controversial with the AFC West, but look,
No controversy here.
yeah.
You guys are good for 15 wins.
Yeah.
For those who don't know, obviously, Sam over here is a Chiefs supporter. And I
Yeah.
can say you've been a Chiefs supporter for a while.
Yeah, I've been sharing the wins for the last. I've shared a post every year for God knows how many years.
That's why I can't call you out.
I'm very passionate. It all started purely because of Alex Smith.
Yeah, which is weird.
Gen-
a certain play.
I respect the hell out of that guy.
Were you there during the Jamal Charles years? Or was that
Yeah, he came over. He came over remember DeAnthony Thomas when he got drafted, the Black Mamba?
Yeah.
So he got drafted the same year. Alex Smith got obviously brought over from San Francisco.
No, but were you? Honestly, it's probably before. You would have seen Jamal Charles
I was watching. Jamal Charles was a weapon, bro.
Jesus. He was unfortunate that he was just in.
It was sad to see
carrying
him.
the
He
team
went to the
so
Broncos for a little bit, and that was
Finished
kind
his
of sad.
It happens to all the best.
yeah.
LT at the Jets.
Yeah, but it's. I mean, I like the Chargers. I got Herbert as my fantasy
I hate
quarterback.
that
Did
I
you
can't hate
draft
the Chiefs.
Herbert as well?
Yeah.
Was he like? Did you get him?
I overdrafted, I admitted. But my plan was to draft Mark Andrews.
Do you reckon one of your
your
someone would have just taken him out of spite?
100%, because I traded back. I got Eckler. I managed to get Keenan
Yeah.
Allen in the second. Completely coincidental. Wasn't just picking Chargers. And I
Yeah.
said at this point I may as well go for the stack.
Yeah.
And completely out of spite, it is. You got to know your league, and my league 100% would have taken him. At that, man, we had Lamar. Actually, Lamar held on till ages, but Josh Allen just went, so I thought the quarterback run was about to happen. It was in the back end of the 4th round. I had him on the turn, and I said the ideal situation we had to get Mark Andrews and then come back and get him on the turn. Too much spite in the Wenger Airways Fantasy Football League, so I had to get him there. Mark Andrews there ended up being for me in the 5th, so
good.
it all worked out.
Happy days.
I think there's not enough depth for the Chargers to compete long term with the Chiefs. Chiefs, obviously, they're rebuilding their offensive line. But apart from that, you've still got the cheetah. You've still got the Legion of Zoom.
Yep.
You've still got a solid defense. Nothing's going to change there. No one's due to be aging out.
No.
So, as I said, you guys should pick up 14, 15 wins. Really, 13 wins should be a floor.
Yeah.
Chargers, we're going to be lucky. And I've got to temper my expectations here. If we get 10 wins, I'll be stoked. And I think that's probably realistic for us there because we haven't got much depth. We have fixed the starters, the offensive line's there, but at left tackle, if something goes down with Sean Slater, we've got Trey Pipkins. He's going to give up 3 sacks in the first game he starts.
Yeah.
We just don't have a lot of depth on the offensive line. Don't have a lot of depth defensively. I don't know how much I love the safeties behind Derwin James.
Yep.
Derwin James, geez, if he starts, he's amazing. And we'll have more about him later. And then, cornerback depth, we'll see if Vato can continue his good form there. And then you've got Asante Samuel now, who's earned himself a starting spot. So fairly young there behind Chris Harris Jr. But not enough depth for the Chargers to really try to take over that division yet. But it'll be a fun race.
Yeah. No, we're excited. Like the Chiefs defense, Willie Gay's driving me crazy and the season hasn't even started again. He's injured already. But apart from that, I think we've addressed the cornerback issues that we'd had in the past. Obviously Snead came out and had a huge year last year, so
You did.
that's exciting. But
Don't know if we're talking about the Chiefs game. Oh, we are talking about.
we
the
are,
Chiefs
yeah.
game,
We'll
so
get into that. But anyway, let's Chiefs. I'm gonna go with Chiefs.
Again, one of the
as
easy
much as
ones.
I really, even though they're in the same division, I really, I respect you and I respect the Chargers, and
Just fuck
you
the
know,
Raiders, right?
you know how much I love Phillip Rivers, so
Yeah.
I love that guy. I've actually set up an Instagram page and I've got him as like this funny ass photo of Phillip Rivers as
With
the
his
DP.
door, like that face. But I mean, we agree, right? Fuck the Raiders, right?
yeah, Raiders, yeah. AFC North. This is
This has
interesting.
changed. This has got to be changed. If you asked me this morning, like early this morning, I probably have a more 50-50 answer. But right now, it's got to be Cleveland
Yep.
because I don't know if you heard about the news that went down in Baltimore.
We're not about the injury.
Which one?
Wait, what? No,
So
no.
J.K.
okay,
Dobbins
I know,
is already down?
I know, because I had him as
You
my
did.
my
But
running
now
back.
Gus Edwards is possibly down with an ACL,
No way.
and then in consecutive plays, Marcus Peters went down with what looks like another knee injury.
Oh, jeez.
So they've lost their starting corner
They got Le'Veon Bell,
on the practice squad for
but
now.
yeah, I
that's
know
take
he's
a
going to
while.
cause turmoil
Yeah.
in that squad. But
Well, former Steeler. Let's see how that goes.
yeah,
But
true.
it takes time to get, especially with protections and stuff like that.
Yeah.
People assume you can just, because it's running backs, I think with rookie running backs, you can just plug and play with them. A free agent running back,
Mm-hmm.
even look with like Marshawn Lynch when he came in late to Seattle all those years ago.
Yep.
You can put him in running plays, but you have trouble putting him in passing plays because you're worried about them in protection.
Yep.
That takes some time to learn. People have different, verbiage and different systems and whatnot. So you've got to be careful about how you use running backs straight off the street or straight
Yep.
out of free agency, because it's almost telegraphed when you put them in that you're going to run the ball,
Yep.
because it's questionable whether they're in, they've
Yeah.
earned enough reps to be protecting the quarterback in that situation. And so that's going to take a while. So now, God knows, I think I can't remember their third string running back's name. It's like Jameel something.
Yep.
Can't remember. I mean, you can't tell me that this rushing attack that, yes, is based around Lamar Jackson, but he needs a running back foil, a hard inside
Yep.
guy to make that offense work.
Yep.
And they've already got Bateman down out injured on the outside, so now they've got limited options in the passing game as well. So
Yep.
that's enough for me to easily put the Cleveland Browns
Yep.
up top against a Steelers team that has lost a lot of faith from the public, I think,
Yep.
especially that receiving core, and no one knows who's going to be the lead dog.
And I think how many games did Ben play last year?
He played most of them, did he?
Did he?
not? He had that big 11-game winning streak, remember? And then they just went,
Oh, that's right.
you
Yeah.
might
yeah.
be thinking the year before,
Did he
where
get-
they had Duck Hodges
Oh.
and stuff like that.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, I was thinking the year before. Yeah.
Still, he's aging. I mean, I think he only had like an average depth of target of like 6 yards or something
Yeah.
like that last year, even when they were winning. So yeah, there's questions about Pittsburgh's offensive line, and you can't have questions about your offensive line when you're playing the AFC North.
Yep.
There's too many good pass rushes out there between
Yep.
Baltimore and now the Browns.
Yeah. Miles Garrett.
So I think that's an easy one. That's got to be Cleveland, and I'll safely back that.
Yep. Cool. I'm going Browns as well.
Pre-injuries, it's a fair game.
Not Bengals.
Joe Burrow running for his
Poor
life.
bastard.
But what about
I really
apparently
like Joe Burrow.
Chase's issues apparently. He's not. He's
Jamar
just taking-
Chase?
Yeah, he's taking a while to.
Is it Jamal or Jamal?
Jamar.
Jamar Chase.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's having.
Well, he's
trouble.
not. How he's not catching balls and stuff.
Yeah,
like
he was
that?
struggling. I mean, look, it can be hard, and he's one of those guys who sat out 2020.
Mm-hmm.
So that can take. Some people don't bounce back that well from taking a year of football. who
Yeah.
best.
But that, man, until we start seeing him in the regular season, it's probably hard to say.
As someone who just watched your team lose a Super Bowl on the basis of lack of protection,
Yep.
do you think they made a mistake by not
Yeah.
picking offensive line?
Yeah. No.
They're
I
both Sewell
agree.
and Slater.
Yep.
As a Charger, I'm grateful because that allowed the drop of tackles to happen and us to pick
Yep.
arguably the best left tackle in the draft at 13. But
Yep.
it's a ballsy choice. But to be fair, that was apparently instigated by Joe Burrow. He wanted his buddy there, and there's an argument
Really.
of just getting your quarterback comfortable. And
Yep.
if you have someone who you can get the ball out to quicker, that shortens the time they're in a passing situation. So there's some logic there, but I don't know.
Yep.
I mean, they did get some free agents there, so it's not like they didn't try to upgrade that offensive line. But
Yep.
that's he was a first overall pick there. That's a hefty purchase, and you
Yeah.
kind of want to insure it.
AFC South.
Look,
Hard to go
Titans-
past the Titans.
Yeah, look,
Really.
and look, Colts will come down to health, and whether Wentz is able to bring back some of that magic he created
Philly.
with in Philly with his now head coach, former offensive coordinator.
Yeah.
Who he's a former Charger as well. I've got a lot of love for him.
Yep.
But it'll depend. I think who's the guard? His name escapes me. Quentin Nelson.
Yep.
He's apparently coming back from that foot injury a lot faster than people expected. So things should be okay there. But can you trust Wentz to have a healthy season? I can't.
No.
And here's a fun one. We weren't going to talk about this, but I've got a cheeky bet on the worst record in the game, the worst record in the season to be the Colts. I thought Wentz might be out a little bit.
You can do that?
Yeah, the worst record via Sportsbet. Yeah,
Yeah.
because they were paying like $251.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that's worth chucking a cheeky,
A little tenner.
a little tenner because you never know what's going to happen there.
Yeah.
I think the real bet there is Philadelphia at $15, but all it takes is a slide of injuries there, starting from Wentz, and things could go horribly wrong
For sure.
over in India. But yeah, that'll come down to health for them. But Tennessee, they've got Derrick Henry. They've changed their offensive coordinator. We'll see but it's not like it was a hard job. What was it? 21 dive. 10 plays straight to run the offense in Tennessee. But they've got Julio now, so that's lighter boxes. So there's no reason why you're not going to see north of 1,500 yards, especially in this 17-game season for Derrick Henry again. So, yeah, it's a safe bet as Tennessee, in my opinion.
Yep. Yeah, I'm going Titans as well. Alrighty. NFC East. I think you kind of made this somewhat clear, I guess. Are you running with Washington?
No, I'm going with the boys.
Oh, so yeah, I'm going with Cowboys too.
Yeah. I said Washington is a smoky.
Yep.
Take Dak away, then yeah, sure, I'll put my money on Washington.
Yep.
But look at them today, against a very solid pass defensive team.
Yep.
They put up 400 yards and 2 touchdowns or 3 touchdowns to each of their
couple turnovers on
receivers and
defense.
stuff like that. One of them was off a Hail Mary, to be fair.
Yeah, true.
How about what's his name? Godwin coughing up that ball at the 5.
Yeah, that's a little punch out. Yeah.
Jeez, a lot of people who had Tampa Bay to cover the spread are very mad today.
Yeah. NFC West.
That's the hardest division to pick, and this is why
it always is almost.
This is why I'm so surprised you're so excited about the idea of the
Seahawks getting
there. They've got to fight through hell.
They always do, but I know they always come out bashed. By the end of the season, Russell Wilson is just chasing his tail.
Down to their 5th running back. I think,
yeah, I don't know. I've always really liked the Seahawks, and I just love to see it. I think it'd be cool.
For me, Seahawks are always going to be in the conversation, and this is a genuine 3-team horse. And it's weird to think a roster as stacked as Arizona.
Yeah,
is the clear odd child out.
Yeah,
but you've got.
Are you sold on Murray? What's your opinions on him?
Is he good enough to constantly put up double-digit winning seasons? Possibly, likely. Yeah. Can I see him winning a Super Bowl? I can't.
Yeah.
And I've got a bit of a bias. I like my slightly thicker and sturdier quarterbacks. You're going to get hit a lot in this league, even in the way that it's turned.
Yeah.
Kind of like him capable of taking a hit. But you've got a revamped LA team coming out there with Matty Stafford out there, who clearly McVay loves the idea of him running in their offense.
Yep.
How their defense will go without, no one's talking about the fact that the guy who led them to the number 1 defense is now, down the street, down to Costa Mesa, north of Costa Mesa, back in Orange County or whatever, coaching the Chargers down the street.
Yep.
But at the end of the day, you've still got Aaron Donald, you've still got Jalen Ramsey.
Yep.
They can usually sort themselves out from there.
Yep.
Bobby Woods back in receivers, and Cooper Kupp probably have a big year. The question will be whether McVay's offense is a running offense, and it's just as difficult passes off the back of that. They lost Henderson.
Yep.
They brought in Sony Michel. Can those two carry them the direction that offense needs to go?
Yep.
Because I think if you want to talk about someone who could surprise some people, 49ers, they're a quarterback away from being the best team in that division.
Yep.
As stacked as it is.
Yep.
We'll see how Trey Lance goes.
Yeah, well, Jimmy's got the go-ahead to start. So
I think that was expected.
Yeah, do you see that being the kind? Do you see him lasting that long, or
I think
there, or
right now
maybe just sitting a season?
With rookie quarterbacks, the expectation to play early is so high and so unfair. To be fair, it's such a difficult position, but that's just the way you need to go now. Even after they changed to the rookie deals where it doesn't cost you as much.
Yep.
The ideal situation is what happened with Patrick Mahomes.
Yep.
You sit as much of the season as you possibly can, and you throw them in the back end.
Yep.
Because then that means you take away all the anxiety of learning how to play in NFL stadiums, dealing with the media, et cetera, and then installing the offense. All that's done.
Yep.
So by the time they're actually starting, it's all comfortable for them.
Yeah.
A lot of teams get that luxury.
Yeah, I know.
And so you got to be able to perform early.
Yeah, I remember that game against the Broncos, and Patrick came out, and everyone was like, what?
It was one of the best ways you can do it, though.
Yeah,
Not
yeah,
expecting.
no.
The same thing. It was kind of a blessing in disguise, once again, Charger talk, for Justin Herbert to just rock up 30 seconds before he thought he was just going to be riding the chrome.
Yep.
And go ahead and take on Patty Mahomes in week 2.
And nearly should have won. You could say that you guys should have won that game.
Yeah, a couple of 100%. Can't kick a field goal. Lols.
Yep.
Charger history. But I think Trey Lance will get the next best thing.
Yeah.
I think they will play Jimmy as much as they can to the trade deadline.
Yep.
Increase his value as much as possible because I think they're all in on Trey.
Yep.
And I think if they had to start tomorrow, if Jimmy went down, they would have no qualms starting with him now. But around this is a business decision.
Mm-hmm.
Get as much value, even if it's the first 3 games, first 2 games. Just prove that Jimmy Garoppolo can run an offense.
Yep.
And can play and is a value of teams before a team comes knocking. Especially if a quarterback goes down week 1, week 2.
Yep.
This is a leverage game for them. So I think ultimately Trey Lance is the starting quarterback of that 49ers team at some point here in 2021,
I agree.
22 season.
Look, yeah, I'm gonna go with Hawks. So you're
I'll go. I'm
go
going
Rams.
the Rams. I'm going the Rams.
I'll go with Hawks. You go Rams. All right, AFC North.
AFC North. We've gone through that. Was Cleveland.
What's that? Sorry. Oh, sorry. NFC North.
NFC North.
Yeah, NFC North.
Vikings are exciting. They've got Justin Jefferson and Thielen.
Yep.
Detroit surely are games away from doing it. The Bears, they got a young quarterback situation.
Yep.
Why wouldn't you pick the Green Bay Packers?
Yeah,
I mean,
we'll go Green Bay.
I said Aaron Rodgers is going to be coming out to make some money.
Yep.
And also win, he still wants to win. I don't think Green Bay Packers fans have to be worried about him mailing in. He wants to win. Devontae wants to win. You've still got Aaron Jones. You've still got all those edge guys that rack up sacks. Didn't do a whole lot to help the run defense issue, but Aaron Rodgers is coming off an MVP season. No reason why he couldn't be trying to run it back, as they say.
And he's the only player my girlfriend knows, Aaron Rodgers, because his brother was on The Bachelor or something.
Yeah. Well,
Anyway.
he's dating. Well, he's married to Shailene Woodley now. So,
Yeah. Yeah.
Former host of Jeopardy.
Yep.
Yeah, the man's about town.
Yep. And the NFC South.
NFC.
Hard to go past the Bucks
Yeah.
with the QB situation at the Saints, and
Look, I'm prepared for the Bucks. One of my long-term multis is the Bucks to have the best record in the NFL. Not even, you could go number 1 seed, but I think they've got a much easier schedule than your Kansas City Chiefs.
yep.
One of their starting corners going down makes a bit of a worry.
Yep.
But Tom Brady's the type of son of a gun who not only wants to win, but would love to have the undefeated season under his belt.
Oh,
he's already became the quarterback who's
he
one
just
of the few
loves
quarterbacks he started quarterback for 2 Super Bowl winning teams, being the first guy to win it in their hometown. He's the type of guy who loves accolades. He's like, what's his name? Thanos with freaking things, man. He just wants to keep knocking them off.
I don't know if you saw, but it was like on the game winning drive. I'm pretty like they were calling plays, and Tom was like yelling back saying no. He obviously didn't like the play that they'd drawn up for him, and he's obviously, but man, like you just the passion that that guy just bursts out is just insane. Like his will to win is just crazy.
I don't understand how a man who's done it as many times as he has, at the age he has, and is at this point undoubtedly the GOAT, still has that sort of fire.
I know, it's wild.
And that's why, as he's been the cause of a lot of my football depression over the last 2 decades. But I've just got to stand and applaud the bloke.
Yeah. Alrighty. And that wraps up everything there, right?
I believe so.
All the divisions. And let's get into a couple games that we've highlighted. So each week we're probably just going to highlight maybe 3 or 4 games that we're keen on looking into.
Yep.
So first up, Washington Chargers.
I feel as though you just did me a nice here just to give me a chance to talk about my Los Angeles Chargers.
Always. I think we've always got it. We'll always talk about the Chiefs, talk about the Chargers, we'll talk about the Giants when Curtis is here.
Pretty much. It's a guarantee. So if you're a fan of one of those 3 teams, you found yourself a podcast. I think there's a couple of exciting things about this for the neutral fan. The first one I've been excited about since this was announced was the Chase Young versus Rashawn Slater rematch, revenge match, you could say.
Yeah.
I can't imagine someone as competitive as Chase Young is, rookie of the year, real dominant edge player.
Yep.
He had to sit through the entire draft process. Every time they talked about tackles and rewatched the Rashawn Slater footage at Northwestern of him dominating Chase Young.
Yep.
Constantly just seeing pros, dominated Chase Young, handled Chase Young, beat Chase Young. He's not going to like that. And he has an opportunity now to get in his face and set the game straight and
Yep.
get, I would argue, a mental advantage for the rest of Rashawn Slater's career.
Yep.
And on raw talent, Chase Young is better than Rashawn Slater. I think Rashawn Slater's
we-
ceiling is huge.
Are the Chargers playing a lot of teams from the NFC East? We play everyone from the NFC East this year.
Yeah, the AFC,
Do you guys?
Yeah, it's the same thing. The
Yeah,
AFC
yeah.
West is
Okay,
taking
cool.
on the
Yeah,
NFC East.
I didn't know. I didn't realize it was like that. But because
That's
That's
so
cool.
you have like-minded competition.
Yep.
So yeah, that's going to be an interesting one there. But I tell you what a stamp of approval if he can do it again.
Yeah.
No one will doubt Rashawn Slater's ability, and old coupon Tom Telesco will be able to play him another steal.
Here we
And quite
go.
frankly, if we can grab a quality starting left tackle at 13, that's a bigger steal than Derwin James was at 17.
Yep.
But this will be a really big test right now. But look, he's had another Ohio State defense end to be practicing on all offseason against in Joey Bosa. So I'm excited to see how that goes. Plus, I don't know how much they'll actually be competing against. I think Chase Young generally sits towards the left and interior.
Yep.
Defensive left and interior. And obviously, Rashawn Slater will be on the defensive right. So I don't know how many times they'll actually come together. We'll soon see. But they'll have to try it. He's the young buck off there. And they'll want to take a couple of third downs at him, surely.
Yep.
But on top of that, Brandon Staley's number one defensive scheme
Yep.
that he had in up north in LA, taking down the Chargers. There's a chance to see how that's going to work. Joey Bosa, they're moving from Gus Bradley's 4-3 to more of a 3-4 look. So Joey Bosa technically counts as a linebacker nowadays, but more or less people just call them edges nowadays.
Yep.
But that means we're going to see Joey Bosa dropping in coverage and seeing how that goes. So,
Yep.
He won't just be handing the dirt, rushing the passer every time. So a bit of creativity. And return of Derwin James. I think everyone wants to see Derwin James return. Even the deepest, darkest Raiders fans want to see that young man on the field, because when he had his one healthy season, he was amazing. So I think there's some exciting things to be rising there. Obviously, Fitzmagic. I mean,
Yeah, that's my next.
he's
What
the
do you
one.
think of? I was just looking at that there. I was just seeing his name, Fitzmagic.
Like, he knows how to run an offense.
Yeah. Has he played for every NFL team?
He's close to it. I think he did it. I think one of his Instagram posts was like he did the whole back to school thing. He's like,
Yeah.
I'm now in grade year whatever, like year 12 or whatever he is now.
Yeah.
My former teacher was, my new teacher is, my
Yeah.
new best friend is. He's filled in the new roster. He obviously takes it with stride.
Yeah.
I got to say though, who do you feel more for, Fitzmagic or Tyrod Taylor, who seems to be the good luck Chuck of franchises finding their next quarterback?
Yeah.
Like dead set.
He's at the Houston.
Yeah, he got the start. He got the start.
Yeah, I
So
saw that he got the start. Yeah.
invest in stock in Davis Mills, ladies and gentlemen, because he's clearly the next big thing.
Yeah, I was looking at that today. So I was like, who the fuck is the Houston quarterback?
Yeah, while they're still
I had no
sorting
idea who
things
it
out.
was going to be, and I was just looking at the starters today and saw that. Yeah.
He's got a chance against Chargers late in the season. I think obviously Houston fans are probably hoping that Deshaun Watson's back by then, but who knows? He could be out for a while. Jeez, didn't that take a turn of events in that offseason? Him having all the leverage,
Yeah.
and then all that stuff
What
regarding
a change of, yeah.
Jesus Christ, is that a dumpster fire?
Hey?
Like, I don't understand how Houston just wins culturally at the moment.
No,
They got a God knows who at head coach who shouldn't. He's just there as a, he's there to fill a role.
Yeah.
They got some crazy guy at GM. They've got draft picks. They haven't got draft picks for the next God knows how many years.
Yep.
They haven't got a single rookie on their roster this year.
Yep.
They're like their 5th round picks and ons didn't make it.
Oh.
So they've got nothing exciting to look forward to. It's not a good time to be a Houston fan.
So you back in your boys to get up?
I got to say as well. Yeah, you'd think so. Why not? Like, provided there's no injuries. The one instant I have concern I have is Austin Eckler. Apparently pulled up with another sore hammy, which is the reason he got sidelined for so many weeks last year.
Yep.
Apparently had a full healthy off season, but then has set out the last 2 days with a hamstring worry.
Oh, no.
And as an athlete, you would know hamstrings. That's something that can
they
just follow
niggle.
you all
They
season.
niggle. Yeah.
You don't really properly heal from that. So I'm a little concerned that once you have it, that's kind of your thing for the year.
Yeah.
And you're never really playing at 100%.
Well, let's hope he's not too bad. Is he your fantasy?
He was my first round pick. So
oh, okay.
So
yeah, you pray to the football gods.
Yeah. So and I haven't got a whole lot of faith in the guys behind him, and none of them had a great season there. Justin Jackson was dinged up all preseason. Joshua Kelly needs to improve there, and you got Larry Roundtree, who was a late round pick, but no one's jumping at the bit like Eckler was when Melvin Gordon was our starter. So I think they're +3 in the spread.
Yep.
So I think that's about right, and I think there's no reason why we should win.
Yep.
Our offense is classier than theirs, even with Scary Terry and
for sure
their running back. So yeah.
Chiefs Browns.
This has the potential to be a shootout. Would you agree?
Well, yeah, especially if Matthew is still under COVID protocol. So if he doesn't play, that leaves a lot. He's still in COVID protocol.
Yeah, geez. Okay.
Yeah, Tyrone Matthew. Yeah,
jeez, yeah, that could be a little leaked points down the middle third.
So, yeah, I mean we've got Sorensen back there. Who else we had? Who was that? Who just came off the ACL injury?
This is your team. You should be calling this.
Yeah, no, it's swept past me. But yeah, like these are the Chiefs injuries here. So we still got obviously Frank Clark's issue in with the.
Oh yeah, you got Kyle Long coming
still
back.
That still hasn't been resolved.
Yeah, I forgot you had Kyle Long as part of your O-line.
Yeah,
the guy hasn't played football in God knows how long. I don't know how much weight you lose a lot of offensive linemen when they retire. I
think Creed Humphreys is going to be our
starter.
Yeah, I think he's.
So there's a lot to come back from.
But yeah,
here's a question I have for you as a Chiefs supporter. How do you think the Chiefs are going to roll with their red zone attack this year? And I think a lot of people who have Edwards-Helaire in their fantasy teams are going to wonder how that is because, Mahomes loves those pop passes. Andy Reid loves those pop passes, sweeping the grounds there. And obviously someone like Kelsey is a very big monster in the red zone there.
Yep.
Do you guys see yourself with the revamped offensive line coming back and actually, running the ball a bit more inside the 20 and particularly inside the 10?
I think so. I think they do. Yeah, especially with, the way they mix it up and things like that. And especially with the new offensive line, I think it just opens up a whole new level of offensive weapons and capabilities. So,
well, that's why I think the opposite. I think someone like you take advantage. Remember the NCAA ball game, Bama, and how they used Devonta Smith.
Yep,
I can see them doing a lot of that.
You reckon?
And doing a lot of those orbit motions and whatnot. Because just like we saw today, where it feels safer for offensive coordinators to find these ways to get dump off passes for 3-4 yards.
Yep.
I feel a lot of them, particularly Andy Reid, is going to feel the same way in the red zone there. I did not want stock in Clyde Edwards-Helaire for the lack of touchdown production he's going to have, in my opinion.
Yep.
I can see a lot of your receivers getting rushing touchdowns this year because there was no reason why it didn't work last year, so why wouldn't they go back to it now?
Yeah, for sure. I think
you originally
in terms of the Browns, Odell Beckham looks like he's back. Landry.
Well, then you got those two exciting running backs.
They're scary. Yeah, Chubb, Hunt.
Behind a really good offensive line as well. It'll be how quickly Baker can get this offense moving this time. He is the guy. He's got all the weapons. There is no excuses for him if he doesn't produce here. And I think Stefanski learned a really good lesson last year of how to use him.
Yep.
I think dare I say it, Colin Cowherd raised a good point where they're going to limit his improvisation and whatnot. They'll have some easier first level reads for him.
Yep.
When you've got receivers with the agility like Jarvis Landry, Odell Beckham and whatnot. Some of the routes that end up working for other receivers last year proved that he can work with Odell Beckham this time around. So provided Odell Beckham is actually healthy there's no reason why this team couldn't be a 30-point plus team every week.
Yep, for sure. And then we've got...
Though, before we move on, actually, you just remembered something. That Cleveland defense, got some exciting pieces there.
Yeah.
As I said, we talked about some of the new free agent acquisitions. Jeremiah Owusu-Karamoah, their second-round pick who fell down to them. He's only about 220, maybe after this offseason might have bulked up to 225. But he's the type of player who can fly around everywhere. He could be another Smokey for Defensive Player of the Year with the sort of plays he can make.
Yep.
But I also worry he could have a sort of like a Jabril Peppers type of year where like they can't quite figure out how to use him. And he could be also the guy that doesn't make volume plays but makes really key plays because he is a really fast sideline to sideline guy. It can be a really good matchup with some of these slot receivers nowadays. You can kind of stay in a linebacker heavy package and consider him a linebacker. So he's someone I'm excited to keep an eye out for.
And agree with the line there. +6 start for the Browns.
Yeah, that's about. I mean, it's really hard sometimes moving from rugby league to NFL at this point of the season if you're a punter.
Yeah.
Because the NFL lines Vegas is so much stingier.
Yeah.
On the lines compared to here with rugby league in particular in Australia, where they'll happily throw a 20-point line out. You will not see that. Nah. Even on the roughest games.
No.
The most toilet bowl lopsided games, you're lucky to see a 14-point spread.
Yeah.
So I'd say all things considered, that's probably almost generous.
And then next up, I wanted to look at was Pittsburgh and the Bills.
Yeah, this one, you threw this one on me late there, but once again, Josh Allen, second year, how many points can they put up there? But Pittsburgh, everyone wants to know, there's been talks about Big Ben being in the best shape of his life and whatnot. And they want to know how they can orchestrate this offense because this offense still has potential. They all went dormant last year, but Deontay, what's his last name? Deontay Johnson is apparently the new sort of lead guy there. Juju, whether he'll mature, he decided to take the extra year in Pittsburgh.
Claypool.
And then Chase Claypool, he has the chance to drop, multi-touchdowns any given game or whatnot there.
Yep.
And then, of course, the new toy at running back in Najee Harris.
Yep.
Who some people spent first round.
I got a signed card for him too, from him.
There's a reason why he couldn't do well.
Yeah.
And that was part of the reason why they dropped off last year. They couldn't run the ball. Admittedly, though, O-line struggles, and that'll be the same question early in this game here. How strong is this offensive line to protect Big Ben and what could be his swan song year?
Yeah, and obviously the Bills kind of went through them. Not much has really changed, have they?
No, exactly.
From last
That's
season, so
the expectations shouldn't be any different.
Yeah, so I'm gonna go Bills. I think what they got? They got a 6-point start.
Yeah, I was about to say 6 points surely.
6 point. Yeah, sorry. Steelers have a 6-point start. So I think do Bills cover that?
I would back them.
Yeah.
I mean, the defense for the Steelers also was a bit sketchy towards the back end of last year, and they didn't do a whole lot to fix it.
Yep.
They paid TJ Watt a shitload of money.
Yeah.
I think he just got the highest defensive contract.
Yeah, he just re-signed.
He deserves it.
Like yesterday?
Yeah, I think it might have been early this morning for us.
Yeah.
He deserves it.
Yep.
That's the type of player you do pay. But apart from that, I mean, they've got a half-decent linebacker core. I don't know how I feel about that defense. So, yeah, the Bills should cover, in my opinion.
Cards, Titans?
Cards, Titans. We kind of covered earlier there, talking about it there, Derrick Henry. We'll see how this offense looks now with Julio in there. And the question I want to be answered is which receiver will be the number one. Everyone assumes Julio is going to be the number two. He's finally got someone else who can.
AJ Brown.
Yeah, he's got AJ Brown on the other side. He's got Derrick Henry in the box there. Not since who was that Super Bowl running back for him?
Where at
Falcons?
Freeman.
Yeah, not since Freeman's peak, as he had someone to really, take away some of that interior looks for him. So it'd be a question to see how they use Julio there and whether they can.
Yep.
In that run-heavy offense, I think everyone wants to see Derrick Henry roll over a few more people.
Yep.
And whatnot, but this should be a Tennessee victory.
It's an exciting offense Tennessee have got.
It's a real chuck it down the field offense. I just realized they've got Josh Reynolds as well, who's another lanky guy they'll use him in a lot of crossing routes. So they'll have all the crazy double moves with Julio. AJ Brown can stretch the field on a go route. Expect Josh Reynolds to be a handy wide receiver 3, picking up a lot of receptions over the intermediate.
And then we've got, obviously we kind of covered it, but Hopkins, AJ Green.
I will say one thing on that there, on the Cardinals and what I'll be looking for, how Cliff Kingsbury is going to use Rondale Moore.
Yep.
They used a draft pick on him there. He's a real gadget sort of guy. Cliff.
Was he a first round pick?
I don't think it was a first round pick. It might be second, third.
Yeah.
But they spent a notable pick on him. See if you can click on him. See if he
see if any stuff comes up.
It might have even been as late as 5th, to be honest.
Not much information on this website.
They went after him. He's a gadget guy. Cliff Kingsbury, all the way to his Texas A&M days, was a gadget type of coach.
Yep.
He could be the type of guy who's picking up an end around touchdown one week, a go route touchdown the next, keep returning or punt returning. So he's the type of guy who could be really exciting find for them as well. Obviously not wide receiver 1 material, but again, someone that can be headaches for defensive coordinators.
So I'm gonna go Titans.
Titans, yeah,
I think it's Titans cover.
I'd be cautious covering the spread. I can see them backdooring the Cardinals with a late touchdown. I mean, they've got a lot of weapons there themselves, so I'd be cautious about taking. I can see. I think Tennessee will close it down in the second half and whatnot, and they'll probably keep it close. So I wouldn't take the spread, but I will take Tennessee.
And then the one game you wanted to get into was Dolphins-Patriots.
Yeah, which I think there's a lot of excitement around this, and I don't know if this is one of the 3 a.m. games. I'm hoping it's one of the later ones. There's so many questions about the Patriots. They dropped about $288 million in free agency this past year, which is not something we associate with the Patriots. Not that they're tight in free agency. They usually make one big splash, but to completely revamp their offense is unheard of. One of my good football friends who likes talking Patriots with me, Josh Mader, we both want to see how much 22 personnel will be used from the Patriots, their double tight sets. Because I think Hunter Henry's healthy. And they got Jonnu Smith, 2 guys they paid the top 2 tight ends in free agency. They dropped top dollar on. And you can see that that's the way Bill wants to go back to. Is having this run heavy look with the ability to throw downfield to these tight ends. What does that mean for someone like Jacoby Myers, their leading receiver as well last year? He will now have, less attention on him, but he will also probably get less looks. As I said, this probably means positive for the running backs now, who will be constantly having big bodies to run behind. But that's just on the Patriots side of things. They also get the return of Donta Hightower, who comes back from the COVID opt-out. But 2 of the exciting matchups there is, first of all, the less exciting one, the matchup between new free agent acquisition Matthew Judon coming to play the edge for the Patriots, and then new edge rookie Jalen Phillips for the Miami Dolphins, who both have had pretty exciting preseasons so far and have come with big tags on them. So see which one of those guys come free. But we've also got, of course, the Alabama quarterback matchup between Mac Jones and Tua Tagovailoa. And interestingly, neither quarterback been given captaincy.
Really?
Which is less weird for the Patriots. I mean, the Patriots are pretty... they're not big on giving rookies captaincy. That's Bill's sort of way. But Tua, second year, I think he's the only returning quarterback in the entire NFL.
Who's the captain?
They're not giving captaincy. I mean, it's the NFL. They have like 7 captains. But all I know is he's not one of them. So what does that mean? I mean, that's not great when you got a guy who people already got questions on about whether he can compete. I think you've got to give him this season because he was coming off a hip injury. And when you're talking throwing mechanics, that's a pretty big deal. So I'm willing to give him this year, but it doesn't sound like a guy who's winning over the locker room. And especially with the rumors that they're going after Deshaun Watson. So...
that's interesting.
I don't know if you're a Dolphins fan, and I know some of my best friends are. I don't know how you'd feel right now, whether you're throwing all your faith behind Tua Tagovailoa.
I think a Brissett there.
They do, but see if you can Google the captains that got named ahead of him.
Miami captains.
Surely, I love Gesicki. Surely Gesicki's one of them. Waddle will be exciting for him. Obviously, reuniting some more Alabama connections there.
If someone comes up.
The curious case of the Miami Dolphins 2021 captains.
Here we go. The Dolphins have tackled Jesse Davis, wide receiver, Mac Hollins on defense with Jason McCourtney, linebacker Roberts, and special teams. They have... Look, I'm not even going to try and pronounce that.
Simply put, outside of Jason McCourty, who the hell are those guys? Seriously, you think just by default, Tua should have been able to... And, he might not be a rah-rah guy, but... There should be an aura of leadership about you if you're supposed to lead,
for sure.
A championship team, and you were drafted as high as you were.
Do you think that is would you do you reckon Tua would be upset about that? Do you reckon that he would care too much, or does it allow him to sort of focus? I know having 7 captains, and I don't really better than me, but is being a captain in is it a big thing, because obviously I played rugby league. You commentate for rugby league. The captain's a quite pivotal role.
I think in rugby league it's a lot more pivotal. I think it's fair to say that there is a lot more media related needs for captains, as in that drives them a lot. There's an ongoing joke that sometimes the coaches or even management will have a sneaky say and they'll alter the votes because these are voted on by the players. But there's that many of them. I don't think it's an issue, but for me as a quarterback, I want my quarterback to want to be captain.
Yeah.
And you could also say the quarterback's always going to be a captain anyway. But that's just your first litmus test of earning the respect of the playing group.
Yeah.
And I think even if we do try to compass, you can say, like, if your guy wasn't voted captain, you've been in high-level rugby league groups, it's not a good sign for the guy who's supposed to be captain, no?
No, yeah. No, I agree.
So, I don't know. I'm just glad that's not the situation in my team.
No. Anyway, let's get on to. Did you come up with a weekend multi or something?
Just for you, mate.
Nice, mate.
I've actually stuffed up my sports bet at the moment, so I can't technically have any points for another week. It's killing me. I might have created a tab about just.
I'll get into mine. This is I've gone. Yeah, you're probably going to think I'm crazy with mine.
Yeah. Did you want same game multis or like team multis?
This week I've gone all team line. Team I've got a 6-leg multi and only one is a head to head. The rest I've taken lines.
Go
on. So I'm very dubious about.
Have you got them? Can you?
No, I've got it on. I've got it on my laptop. Oh yeah, here I'll pull them up. Yeah, here I'll drag them up. You're gonna. So I've gone with the. Oh, come on, grab it. Where is it? Here we go. Oh no, it's not dragging up.
Too many porn tabs, man.
Yeah. No, it's not letting me drag up.
Disappointing.
Right,
what do you got?
I've got. So I've taken Jets with the line 4-point start against the Panthers. I've gone Seahawks against the Colts head to head. They're paying $1.64, so I think throwing him in a multi is against the Colts is just to boost it up a little bit. Yeah. I've taken the Saints with a 6-point start, 6.5 start against the Packers.
That's something we didn't get to talk about. Famous Jameis and
start
there and.
I mean, they still got Kamara and things like that, and a few offensive weapons. I think they're missing. What's his name? The wide receiver. He's not. He's injured
for the first 6 weeks at least. Slash doesn't want to be there. Michael Thomas.
Michael Thomas.
Yep. Boy.
And then I've taken Giants with the line with another 6-point start against the Broncos.
Oh, look, that's fair enough. I suppose. We'll get the Broncos.
I've got Rams with -4.5 against the Bears. And then I've got Detroit with a 9-point start against the 49ers.
You made that 9 points?
Hey? Yeah, I've given myself more. Yeah, on a lot of these, I've given myself more for less odds. Yeah, I know. But I just kind of, first game of the season, I just, I'm not expecting too many sort of blowouts, really. And yeah, I just, so that's my.
Let me guess the value on that. Have you got the value there?
Yeah, I can pull it. Oh, it's. I think that's
surely $20 odd.
No, it was more than that. I think it got up to.
Well, something that.
It was like I chucked $20 on it, and I think my return was like 500.
Okay.
So whatever that means, I think it was.
Courtesy of the mathematician between us. I've got. That's solid. I mean, I don't like that Detroit line.
Yeah, you just really don't like the Detroit. I don't know. I'm just like for some part of me, my head's just like that's why I like.
You got some healthy coin flips in there.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. I need a lot of things to go my way, but that's betting. And I'd rather have more points than I always get nervous having minus lines, especially in NFL, man.
Yeah. Where who knows?
The amount of times I've lost by a 0.5. It's killed me.
I got backdoored in one of the worst ways. That's a clip for you.
Yeah.
I got backdoored in one of the worst ways you can think of. Do you remember a while ago where it was Cleveland versus I can't remember who it was, but Cleveland. I needed a same game multi. Had a couple of touchdown scorers, so it was looking good. I had the unders on.
Yeah.
And we had just finished it on. The other team who Cleveland was playing, I can't remember who it is now. They scored the game-winning touchdown. It was a kick return left to do it. They touched back. Cleveland just had to throw a failed Hail Mary, and I've got the unders there.
Yep.
But then they've gone ahead and tried to do like the whole schoolyard throw the ball around.
Yeah.
And they've done it so poorly that they've ended up getting their own safety, which covered the backdoor, the spread on me. And I've just completely lost out on like a $600 multi or something like that. So
the worst,
I can totally understand going against
I've won some good NFL multis in my time, and I've lost some by like
this
I think
much.
part of the reason I don't mind the Chiefs is they've won me a lot of money. It's pretty safe
Yeah.
betting on those receivers.
Yeah.
But I've gone one of my safe game multis. I haven't got any spread. I've just got heads on. I've just
Yeah.
literally went ahead and tried to get the best value out of what I believe are strong favorites.
Yeah.
So I've got Buffalo, San Fran, Green Bay, and Los Angeles all to win their respective games.
Just head to head.
Head to head gets
Yeah.
you over $3.
Yeah.
So I think that's plenty of value there if you're one of those sort of punters. But if you're looking
Yeah.
for a little more value, my same game multi, I've selected. And here's a good one.
With
Have it
a
here.
player like Jameis, he's like one of those players that every time I'd bet against, he'd go out and throw 5 touchdowns and
And then throw like.
then when I bet on him, he goes and throws 5 interceptions.
that's the 30 for
And
30
I'm like,
for you. He is that exciting. That's why a lot of people are holding their breath in New Orleans.
Yeah.
Because he could explode. Are you going to get the 30 touchdown, 5,000 yard Jameis, or are you
Yeah.
going to? And there's argument to say that the good balance, like the system he's in now, should balance out some of his decision making, but we'll soon see.
Yep.
In case you wanted to go a same game multi route, I've gone for Green Bay, which I love making same game multis in Green Bay. I think Aaron Rodgers is pretty predictable in who he likes to target.
Yep.
I've got anytime touchdown scores on Aaron Jones, the tailback, Devontae Adams, and also Alvin Kamara to score for New Orleans. And with a power play, that gets you to $6.50 there. It's a $6 on its own there, but again, I think that's pretty high value for
Yeah.
picking 3 touchdown scorers there. So there's
Nice.
multi for you this week.
Yeah. So mine's a bit hoo-ha.
I wasn't sure how hoo-ha was.
Yeah. No, I went real fucking weird.
That's what
But
the punters
like
want.
I'm gonna try and just see how I go.
So you still
we'll
think
try and keep tabs on our little multi bets and see how we go throughout the year. And it'd be nice to pocket an easy $500 week
If any-
one. Tell you.
If any betting companies wants to sponsor
Yeah.
first down on the podcast, we're listening.
This logo there look good.
All that stuff, this screen could be yours.
Yeah. All right. Well, that pretty much. Unless there's anything else you want to touch on, mate. That's.
Coach of the year.
Oh, yep. I know you're big on this one. I know you've loaded up on that.
I won't go into it. Brandon Staley, I mean, geez, proven success at every level, mate, whether it's whether he's a posse coach or coordinator. But he's proven to be able to make average players good
Yep.
and elite players great, as he did last year as well.
So he's the Chargers,
Chargers
head coach.
former defensive coordinator of the LA Rams.
Yep.
And yes, you could argue that I'm just being a Chargers homer, but you mean Coach of the Year voters, they love new coaches.
Mm-hmm.
He's coming from a team that's coming off a 7-win season. The resumes, he get a 10-win season, that's your job done.
Yep.
And then on top of that, he could be leading a top 10 defense. Justin Herbert could explode again. He's in position at $13 for a head
And
coach
we've
of the year.
got-
That's high value.
You're playing you obviously your run is probably just as good as the Chiefs, I'd assume.
Except
mean,
for the fact that you don't
you
have to play the Chiefs.
No, yeah,
No,
but
I mean, the Raiders are. I mean, I don't have a lot of faith for the Broncos this year, but the Raiders, Derek Carr, he slept on a lot.
Yeah.
And I think there could be a bit of damage there between him and Waller and stuff like that. But
yeah.
at the end of the day, fuck the Raiders.
Yeah. And but every week we'll just touch on like more and more teams and try and get through as many as we can. But obviously we're very limited to time, and there's about a bazillion teams in the NFL, and all are worth noting. Oh, we're sitting at hour and 20. So,
only half an hour longer than we wanted to.
Yeah. Sorry, guys. But yeah, I appreciate you coming on. Hopefully, we just build on it for the rest of the year. And obviously, we still got Curtis to come in. Curtis is a long friend of mine, long friend of Kenny's, former Bayside Raven as well, like we mentioned earlier. So he'll be joining us on the regular occasion. And I'm just really pumped for the year. Really excited. Football's back. Excited that I'm in my first actual fantasy team that I've actually got people who are actually keen on. I know you're a big fantasy guy, and you even got like you mentioned your little wait list to get onto it. So
Really proud of it. Vango Airways Fantasy Football League.
so look, I mean, anyone that's listening, good luck if you're in the fantasy out there, and we'll see you next week. And thanks for coming on, Kenny.
Appreciate it.
Sweet rapper.